We'd had an amazing 2 days in beautiful Glendalough, but day 3 saw us travel right across Ireland to Westport in County Mayo. This was going to be another 4-hour drive, even if the traffic was kind, and we decided we wanted to see some of the beautiful countryside on the way. We travelled again over the Wicklow Gap and followed twisty countryside roads westwards. A few wrong turns, some mild expletives, and we realised this was going to be a long day in the car. So we decided to break up the journey and headed into the town of Kildare. Traffic in the town was very busy, and we realised we had arrived on Derby Day. Still, we were able to park up next to the incredible cathedral, and this seemed an opportunity too good to miss.
The cathedral in Kildare is dedicated to St Bridget, and St Bridget is an important early Christian saint in Ireland's journey from its pagan origins to Christianity, and the name Bridget also refers to a pagan goddess associated with the very origins of the Irish nation. St Bridget herself was a nun and a daughter of a local chieftain, but legend has it she was accidentally ordained a bishop and used her newfound title and power to found a monastery for both men and women here in Kildare. She is also famed for converting a pagan chieftain as he lay dying and fashioning a cross out of rushes from the floor to help him understand the concepts of Christianity. We wandered inside the cathedral, which has been restored but is largely still based around the cathedral built by the Normans in the early 13th century to replace the earlier monastic buildings. It is just stunning inside, and there are stories hidden in the many carvings and stained glass too.
And outside in the grounds is a 32-metre high round tower, and this is climbable with an entrance fee of €5 payable. However, opening times do appear to be limited, and it seems we had missed our chance to do just this. You're impressed with this place, aren't you, Si?
So we've just had a bit of a pit stop on our journey to Westport. We've stopped at Kildare, and the town is bustling, but we didn't realise it was Irish Derby Day when we were going to stop here. But one of the other reasons to stop here was that I wanted to go in this place here, St Bridget's Cathedral. Now, there is a family connection there, mum's name, all that kind of stuff, but it's a phenomenal old ancient cathedral, some brilliant relics inside, some beautiful stained glass, and it's got an atmosphere. Really pleased we've stopped here, stretched the legs, but also to take in somewhere as awe-inspiring as this. So we're going to go and have a little mooch around the town, grab a coffee and a cake, and then head on to Westport.
We then wandered into town, and it was a pretty place that was bustling with racegoers. We found the statue to St Bridget in the town square, which is also a memorial to a terrible massacre of surrendering local soldiers in 1798, during one of the uprisings against British rule.
This is a place steeped in Irish history, and we were glad we had stopped here. But we needed to move on, so we grabbed some drinks and snacks from the local Tesco, and we got back in the car, continuing our journey across Ireland.
This journey was a mixture of twisty lanes, motorways and trunk roads. It took longer than we thought. Traffic congestion was the main reason, and nobody it seemed was in any kind of a hurry. And that was kind of nice.
As we entered County Mayo, mountains emerged on the horizon, including the imposing Craic-Filled.
We rolled into the pretty town of Westport, and this was to be our base for the next 2 days. It looked really quaint, and we drove around looking for our hotel, the Westport Woods Hotel and Spa, and it was a bit out of town as it happened, but we arrived late in the afternoon and we went to check in. However, our room wasn't ready despite it being after 4 p.m, so we decided to take a wander.
Hi, well look, we've made it to wonderful Westport at last, and it looks a really pretty place. Not been here before, looks tremendous, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it's gorgeous, and I'm getting quite excited because as we went through, it looks like loads of bars with live music, and I'm really looking forward to that. So we'll go and look for something tonight.
And the town's overlooked by Craic-Filled, the big mountain. We had originally planned that we would walk that, but I don't think we're quite fit enough or well enough to do that.
No.
Just yet, despite our antics the other day, 380 metres of ascent, but Craic-Filled more than double that. So
oh God, you can just see it as we're coming down. You can actually see it looming, can't you?
it was quite hard to get accommodation. We ended up in the Westport Wood Hall Spa, and that looks quite posh. It was also quite expensive. It's nearly 4 o'clock. We got here, the room wasn't ready, so we ended up down at the harbour to get a bit of a coffee and a cake, so stick with us.
We took the 10-minute walk down to Westport Harbour, and this quayside area was a delight. It was really pretty, and there was an array of shops, cafes and bars for visitors to enjoy, so we found one, sat down and enjoyed a Guinness.
An hour later, we returned to the hotel and our room was at last ready for us. We freshened up and then took the 20-minute walk into Westport town centre, and this was a really pretty place filled with visitors enjoying the many shops, bars and restaurants. We could tell we were going to enjoy our time in Westport, but where should we eat? We had a hankering for Asian food, and that decided things, and we settled down in the appropriately named Yum Yum Asian restaurant.
This was a good meal, but it needed washing down with some more Irish stout. So we went in search of a traditional Irish pub, and the rowdy sounds of music and dancing lured us into the Porterhouse Bar, where we tucked into some Murphys as a change from Guinness. And this place was a hoot, as the music played and all present participated in singing, dancing and cheering everyone along. Wow, this was exactly what we wanted.
A good crack in an Irish pub, brilliant, and we drank more and sang till our voices were hoarse. And this was exactly what we needed and exactly what we wanted from this holiday. And out on the streets, the party was well underway.
Tiredness eventually sent us back to the hotel, but on our way back we reflected on our first night in Westport.
Well, we've had a brilliant evening, haven't we?
Oh, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
We had a nice Chinese meal, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We went into this place called Yum Yum. Original name, wasn't it? Food was good though, wasn't it?
It was really tasty. I enjoyed mine.
Yeah, yeah, that's sweet and sour. I had some sort of like honey chili chicken thing.
I tried sake for the first time as well.
Yeah, you like that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was nice.
And then Westport is a lively place.
It is. There's lots of like hen do's and stag do's going on. We saw a hen do carrying a blow up man just now.
I mean, it's got atmosphere. It's got soul. They know how to party. We went into the Porterhouse, which is one of the music bars.
That was amazing. That was like a real vibe in there, wasn't it?
Really was good. And the place was absolutely buzzing, I think, so to say. Anyway, another great day here in wonderful Ireland. And tomorrow we're going to explore some more of Westport and the surrounding area, so stick with us.
As we walked back, we could see Crowpatrick looming in the distance. The light was fading and we began to plan what we would do tomorrow.
And as we finally got off to sleep, we did have the semblance of a plan.
So what did you plan then, guys?
Good morning.
Morning.
Wow, we had a good night's sleep last night, didn't we?
It was amazing. I slept like a baby.
Really comfy bed, and it's cool as well. It's a heat wave back at home. 34 degrees back at home. It's about 17 here, 15 to 17 I'd say.
Yeah.
And there's a few spots of rain as well, so a bit cooler but easier sleeping. Today we were going to climb Craic-Patrick, but definitely that's off. Definitely off today.
Definitely off, yeah. Not just because of me, it's you as well.
Both of us are in great shape to do that. So
no, we're not fit. We need to get fit again, don't we?
Westport is on the Wild Atlantic Way, or Ireland's famous sort of like coastal route, and this is supposed to be one of the most dramatic areas. So we're going to do a bit of that and explore some of the coastline, and there's beautiful scenery. There's mountain passes.
Looking forward to going down on the beach.
Oh yeah, there's a few good beaches here as well, apparently. So it is a day back in the car, but just exploring the area and just seeing how beautiful County Mayo actually is. Looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
All right, stay tuned.
So we set off into the remote wilds of County Mayo in search of its famed coastline, and our first stop was Bartra Beach, right in the shadow of Craic-Patrick.
We parked up and walked out onto the beach, which was a mixture of stones and sands, but backed by dunes. This was a lovely walk, and the famous mountain provided a stunning backdrop. Si kept looking at it, wishing we could walk the famous pilgrim track up its edge to St. Patrick's Chapel at its summit. It would be incredible to do this, but neither of us were in good enough shape to make that climb.
It is on my bucket list though, and this incredible mountain is steeped in myths and legend, including being the location where St. Patrick was said to have banished the snakes from Ireland. But on this day, I just have to admire it from its bottom and fly my drone around on the beach, which was, to be fair, very enjoyable. But I made a promise to myself that a fitter version of me would come back and make the climb. So today we decided that we will just stroll up and down this lovely beach instead.
Have you enjoyed your beach walk, Natty?
Yeah, it's really great. It's such beautiful scenery. And I saw some little birds there catching flies, and they're really interesting to video.
I saw you sort of videoing something in the dunes, and they were just like nesting in the dunes, the birds, were they?
Yeah, they're nesting in the dunes, and they're coming out and they're catching all the little flies and things like that for their dinner. So I'm going to go back and look at the thing and see what birds they were.
Yeah, there's a signboard back there, so we can have a look and see what birds they were, yeah. And what a setting, it's beautiful with the mountain behind us, wonderful, isn't it?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Anyway, Let's go back.
Then back in the car, and we followed the coast as best as we could, and we could see Clare Island in the distance.
We headed through Louisborough and the roads became narrower and single track. The mountains loomed to our left and sandy bays and coves revealed themselves to our right. Such a stunning drive.
We took a turn down a narrow track to a beach called Silver Strand. There was a car park there, so we left the car and took a walk out onto the beach.
Right, we've had an absolutely amazing drive over the top. It's absolutely gorgeous scenery and we're now here at a place called Silver Strand.
It's quite a beach, isn't it?
It is absolutely amazing.
It's a bit windy. It's not really beach weather, is it?
No, not really. And I don't think it's going to be drone weather either, is it?
Yeah, well, we'll have a go. We'll see what we can do.
We'll see. It might get blown away, but...
Really gorgeous expanse of golden sand.
Absolutely
Yeah, we're just
gorgeous.
coming down a lane now to the beach. It looks incredible. And we're in the middle of nowhere.
We had to turn off because otherwise we were going to go straight over somewhere else, weren't we? Was it to the Lost Valley?
Which looks really interesting, actually, as a tourist attraction. I think you've got to book that tickets in advance. So we didn't know that. I just had a look online and looks really interesting. It's a sort of a dive into the tragedy that was the Irish famine, and it seems like a very interactive sort of immersion into that particular period in history. But maybe that's for next time when we come here. Anyway, let's go and explore this wonderful beach.
We arrived at the beach only to be confronted with a river.
But how do we get on the beach? Look, big expanse of water. Oh.
So one immediate challenge with Silver Strand is getting on the beach, because you've got to cross the river here to get onto the beach. And it's not obvious that you can do that without getting very wet feet. So we're going to try and have a look around to see if there is a crossing somewhere. If not, this could be a little bit of a disappointment.
Maybe that's what you did at one stage.
This does look like a little bit of a crossing, but it's all like washed away now. That's a shame. So it really doesn't look like there's anywhere to cross without having to go wade in, and I'm not sure up for that. So there are other beaches around here, so maybe we go and find one of those.
We went back to the car and continued down the narrow lanes until another beach and car park came into view.
Never to be put off, we've driven about 2 miles further down the coast and found another Silver Strand beach.
Yeah.
And this time, it looks like you can get on it because there's even cars driving on it. So, and a nice big car park. Spin it around, 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 spin it around. And a nice big sandy beach there, which we're going to go and explore now.
We crossed the bridge across the stream and spilled out into the soft white sands, and they were so soft, and this beach had such a beautiful backdrop, and it was a big wide open expanse of beach too.
We walked out onto the sands towards the sea and Si decided he'd use the drone to get a 360-degree view of where we were. It was just a few sheep and a couple of brave swimmers here. Peace and tranquility provided. Just need sunshine.
We walked together hand in hand with the drone following us when Nettie does seem to keep losing hats for some reason, and she's the one with hair.
And this was a wonderful place and so worth the drive. We walked these sands for longer than we expected to, but enjoyed every moment. And back in the car, Si was a ray of sunshine, even if the clouds over the mountains prevented the actual sun from shining on us.
We continued this driving adventure down through mountain roads, occasionally stopping for photos. Nettie was trying to perfect her technique for capturing footage from the car as we were driving along, and she was getting rather good at it.
And we headed into one of the most stunning valleys. This was Doo Lough Valley.
We pulled in at a memorial and took in our surroundings, and it was here that we learned of the tragedy that took place in this incredibly beautiful setting. Sadly, at least 7 starving locals perished of starvation when they were forced to march through this valley by poor law union officials during the Irish famine. They were marched suffering from extreme hunger so they could be assessed as to whether they qualified for aid and emergency food rations. It's a truly shocking example of how the local population were treated during this terrible period in Ireland's history.
We set off down into the valley. It's a brooding and thought-provoking place, but its beauty takes a lot of beating.
The road then followed the shores of the loch, and there were a few people here, but not many. And as we drove, we felt lucky that we had discovered this magnificent valley and mountain pass.
We occasionally stopped to let the sheep check us out, but we followed the road out of the valley and into the field. Yes, that's right, Ireland has an actual field. Killary Fjord, and you can take a boat trip up the fjord to where it meets the sea. And that's what Si had planned. We parked up and bought some tickets at €27 each and boarded the catamaran that would take us on an adventure up the fjord. We grabbed a table and had a coffee and cake, and then the boat set sail.
This was a narrated excursion with the crew providing a commentary on the various aspects of the fjord. This included the local geology that means that it is a fjord, supposedly Ireland's only fjord. We also learned about the history of the area, as well as myths and legends associated with the fjord, as well as the working lives of the people who live on the fjord. The boat also featured a scale model of the fjord and provided both indoor and outdoor seating, all with great viewing of the spectacular scenery.
And this was indeed spectacular scenery, and as we approached the mouth of the fjord we noticed more fisheries and also learned of a pod of dolphins that would occasionally swim alongside the boat. Sadly, not today though.
This was a 90-minute trip up to the mouth of fjord and back again. The sunshine did occasionally poke its head out, but this was a serene 90 minutes doing what we love, just sitting and watching the beautiful scenery just pass us by. It's not as dramatic as Norway, Tierra del Fuego or Alaska, but it's still a beautiful place, and this is a trip we'd recommend to anyone if you're in the area.
We disembarked and got back in the car.
Well, that was a lovely way to spend the afternoon, wasn't it?
It was, it really was.
We love a good boat trip, don't we? And who knew that Ireland had its own fjord? It's practically the only one.
Well, I didn't even know that, did you?
No. Killary Fjord, a lovely boat trip up the fjord and back down, an hour and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they told us lots of interesting information, loads of folklore and things like that, didn't they?
Yeah, it's one of these sort of like commentary sort of cruisings, sort of sailing up the fjord and back down. It was really nice though, wasn't it? The sun even came out.
It did. It's now raining now though. It's got a little bit nippy now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone a bit cold and wet again. But hey, we're in Ireland.
Yeah.
so that was nice. So loads of exciting things done today. Beaches, lovely drive down Doo Lough, a nice boat trip up the fjord. It's running out of time though, aren't we? So we are now. Yeah. So we're gonna go into the local town there. Yeah, there's a local town just down the road here at the head of the fjord.
Look.
See if there's anything open there. It is Sunday, so there might not be.
No. So we're gonna have a little look and then pootle on back home. Well, not home.
Back to Westport.
Back to our little home.
Yeah, our temporary home.
Yes.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the trip up the fjord like we did.
Yay!
The boat set off again with its new contingent of passengers, and we drove the 2 miles down into the nearby town of Leenon.
It was Sunday and not too much was open, but we did get an ice cream and we sat on the wall overlooking the head of the fjord.
And after, we drove back to Westport and our hotel. Then after freshening up, we walked back into town looking for a bite to eat.
And pizza was today's choice in the Woodfire restaurant. We had pizza to share with garlic fries and 2 drinks.
Then into another fabulous Westport pub. JJ O'Malley's was tonight's pub of choice, and it was the sound of fabulous live music that lured us in again.
And this was great. Live music, Irish dancing and plenty of great Guinness. And plenty more great Guinness. Oh well, when in Ireland.
This really was a great night and we didn't want it to end, but eventually we had to wander back to our hotel knowing that we hadn't spent enough time in wonderful Westport. It really is a superb place and we knew we needed to come back here again sometime.
In the morning we were moving on again and we reflected on these 2 fabulous days in County Mayo.
Good morning.
Morning.
So our 2 days here in Westport are done and we're moving on again. It's 2 days and move. That's how this holiday rolls. Hotel was good, wasn't it? The Westport Woods Hotel was all right.
It is a good hotel, really good breakfast. Comfy bed, yeah. Sleep like babies. Yeah. So yeah, brilliant.
Exactly. And whilst there's a heat wave back at home in England, it's about 17 and raining here. But
that's nice though because we can sleep properly.
Yeah, it has been nice. So we're heading north. We're going further up into Donegal, through Sligo into Donegal, and we'll end today in Northern Ireland. So our sort of another country on this road trip, and we're going to have a couple of days in Derry and that area there. So we've never been before, so wonder what it's going to bring us.
Yeah, keep watching and you'll find out.
Cheers now.
So we were heading north to explore the area around Derry, or Londonderry if that's how you refer to it, and we wondered what sort of city it would be. Neither of us had ever been there before, with our only preconceptions being what we'd seen on the news and on the recent TV hit Derry Girls.
But Si had family there and we had plans to try and catch up with them. Would local knowledge help us get the most out of our time there? Join us in the next video to find out.
Supporting our channel helps us make more content like this, and the easiest way to do that is to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks very much.